What's up, guys? In this episode, I'm going to compare two LTDs against two ESPs, and they're all pro-level guitars. Stay tuned. What is up, you guys? It's your boy Luis Torres, and yes, it is about time that I compare guitars with other guitars. It's just something that I don't think I ever really do. Sometimes it's just like, hey, look, I just got this new guitar. Check it out. If you like it, great. But in this episode, my new, to me, 2013, which is in absolute mint condition, it's crazy, 2013 LTD KH602 arrived. 10 out of 10. It is in immaculate condition, so I'm super psyched about that. Got a great price for it. And I will be comparing that to my ESP KH2. And of course, because I have the new LTD JH600, I'm going to go ahead and compare that one. And we'll be running with my ESP M2 Custom as well. So the good thing is that 3 out of the 4 guitars actually have EMGs in them, so that's going to be easy. I will be starting with the KH2. That way you guys can start off with a pro-level guitar, and then we'll switch to the LTD version. So the one thing that I instantly realized out of the gate once I picked up the 602 is that the KH2 that I have is a bolt-on, and it is significantly lighter than the 602, which is neck through body construction, and same pickups, right? You know, same gauge strings. It is what it is, and I'm going to be running out of my Marshall JCM 2000 dual super lead, and coming out of my Mesa 412. Instead of using the mics on the in front of the cabinet, I'm just going to be using this mic right in front of me. So I'll basically be capturing the room tone. So you will be hearing my picking. And you know me, don't complain about, hey, Luis, I hear you picking. I know. That's why I'm warning you now, jerkface. As quiet as it's kept, and I might as well just tell you guys now, the LTD KH602 feels so much better than this one. But keep in mind, that's also because I'm used to using the ESP M2 and M1 customs already, which are neck through body. So to me, I just like a heavier guitar. So, I mean, again, listen, this is a great guitar for the price that these go for. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Dude, you know how many ESPs I have? You know, I feel like I should sell all of them and just get the equivalent of as an LTD and just save myself a ton of money. So yeah, dude, you know, listen, and you know me, you know, I've always hated LTD for literally over 2 decades. And it wasn't until earlier this year that I ended up getting my very first LTD, and haven't stopped since. You know, like, you can get them for $350. It's ridiculous. You can get an LTD EC1000, $350 all day long, $400, $450. North of $450, and you know, you might as well just understand that You're paying more because you want it now. It's not because they don't show up for literally $200 less all the time. So let me switch over from, again, my ESP KH2, which was pretty expensive, to the KH602 that arrived today, which was literally fraction of the price of the ESP KH2. Right, that's it right there, with the skull and bones, 3 knobs, neck through body construction. This, it's 1,000%. This guitar, which is just a few $100, under 500, is just as amazing as this ESP M2 Custom that was 2,500. It's ridiculous. But of course, when you want to go after the name, sometimes, these guys will take you to town. And that, to me, is exactly what they've done, but you don't need anything other than an LTD. It's ridiculous. And get them used. Get them all, they're always in mint condition. Feels, the weight, the neck profile. Dude, this is so much better than my KH2. And I love my KH2, but dude, for what I paid for that KH2, I could have gotten 6 or 7 of these at the price I got this one for. So 7, maybe 8. So yeah, dude, it's tough. It's, you have everyone who's just like, just get ESPs for life. And that's all cool and fine and dandy, until you realize that ESP basically make the same guitars for a lot less. And if you buy it used, even better. Okay, so here is the KH600 that I recently got, which is the Jeff Henneman model from Slayer. And this LTD feels just like all of my hyper expensive ESPs. It is ridiculous. And dude, and I don't know if you caught one of my other videos where I got this LTD because I was talking to a guy that actually owned this one, not this one, but owned a JH600 along with the same Sword Jeff Henneman model by ESP, and he was just like, no difference whatsoever. And he ended up getting the ESP first before getting the LTD version. And then he just said, if I had known that, I would never have gotten the ESP just because they're exactly the same, and I would have saved myself literally thousands. This guitar, as the ESP model used, they go for about 5,000 now. 5,500, I think, is where I had seen it. And new, you can't get them new, but I know new they were probably around that price. But I've seen these as high as 7,000 but of course it's the ESP version. And again, there's no difference. I don't know that, but some other dude that literally owns both is just like, nah, they're exactly the same, except one says LTD, the other one says ESP. All right, so let's go with this one now. Why aren't you working? great thing about this guitar is this is actually the first Kahler bridge that I've ever had on a guitar, and it feels absolutely incredible. If you've ever used the... Who makes it? It's the Hannes bridge by Shaler. The Shaler Hannes bridge. This is what this feels like, which is, so it just has a really low profile, unlike the Floyd Rose that just naturally feel a lot higher. But this guitar is an absolute beast. You know, they're a little more expensive, but if you get one at a reasonable price, dude, you'll keep this thing forever. It's that sick. So let's see. Okay, so let's switch over to my... This is one of my main guitars. It's a 1991 ESP M2 Custom that I bought from, if you guys have ever heard of the band Andrew WK, this guitar used to belong to their new guitarist, and they were just selling a few things, and I was just like, yeah, let me get that one, son. Okay, so this guitar, same thing. They're just really expensive because they are, you know, not to say that there aren't any on the market. It's just ESP just happened to demand a hefty figure. That's why I have two of these, just because I feel like I need a backup. So, but this 1991 ESP M2 Custom feels exactly like the LTD KH602. So if you end up getting a 602 and you're always wondering, should I just get the ESP? Bro, you don't have to. You do not have to. It's exactly the same. Actually, the 602 is better than the earlier KH2 bolt-ons, but I would imagine because that guitar feels just like this guitar, that feels just like my E2, which I'll grab next, you know, you don't have to spend that kind of money anymore. You know, it's crazy. It's really mind-blowing at the fact that I waited this long before I decided to jump in on LTD. And then here is my ESP E2 M2 Urban Camo with EMGs. And of course, this also has the 24 volt. So guys, again, a huge shout out to Eyes of Perdition. Got this shirt in the mail today. Got my lovely Eyes of Perdition hat already. So I'll put a link below so that way you guys can check out their music. And guys, hopefully, you know, hopefully my passion for ESP has translated to the point where you realize and understand that you don't have to spend that much money on a guitar anymore. Things are super expensive, especially now post-COVID, with some companies just making guitars that are subpar at this point, just because of the materials that they have access to. So all of these old guys are just a little more expensive than they used to be. But if you're patient and you sit on all of these, either locally, using Craigslist or Reverb or eBay, like, just be patient, trust that something's going to come across your path and you're going to jump right on it, and it's going to be an absolutely incredible LTD, EC1000, MH1000, H1000, M1000 Deluxe. They are all incredible. And of course, LTD's Pro lines are the 600s. So again, if you get access to, or get the opportunity to grab a 600, you are going to absolutely love it. And that's coming from an ESP snob who's now an LTD snob. Guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys are the absolute best. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't, jerk face. Click on the description below for all information that you need. And as usual, thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.